How long is it gonna? Oh. She rummages around in her glove compartment. Oh, Jesus! Oh. Sorry. It's my bad. It's my bad. She pulls over. Gets rid of the tissue. Turn on the radio. Just turn on the radio. What's going on the radio? She turns on the musical radio. Anything good playing right now?
I guess it depends on your definition of good, but I will play something for you.
Come on. God. How are we not getting out of the way? Oh, that's smoking. That's smoke. Yeah, that's smoke. Okay. All right. Okay, that's just smoke. You know what? Selma, you have done this. You have prepared for this. Remember when you prepared for nuclear war? You were ready for nuclear war. What would you do? I know. I'll be there. I'll save everybody. I'll fucking save everybody. I'll put on a cape. I'll do it. I'll just be the person with the cape. A big old S on it. It'll be like Selma, Superman, Selma. Everybody gotta rely on Superman, Selma. God, I hate this song. She honks her horn. Can she see any more smoke in the sky right now?
Probably behind you, yeah, you can. There's quite a bit of it. You've got sirens, you've got the fire department, you've got everything else heading in the other direction as to where you're going. Are you going to turn the siren on to make your life easier as you drive?
She's considering it. She didn't initially want to because there's already a little bit, from what she's gathering, there's a little bit more panic. There's a lot of people who are seeing it. They're losing their minds. I don't know, does she have the space? I mean, I suppose, she is a police officer, but does she have the space to move? Are there enough opportunities for her to have people peacefully make way for her? Or is it just blocked? Because I would imagine there's also
probably
some kind of
congestion because of the explosion.
Yeah, some kind of congestion.
And you've got people who are, watching, slowing down to watch. So even though this is like, you're able to fly your vehicle, not just drive on the streets, there's probably even flying congestion as well.
Okay. All right. She makes a decision. She turns on the siren. Not the siren, but she turns on the light.
Okay.
Just a small like whoop. Boop. Just a little bit of that.
So she turns it on once, lets it go, and then turns it off just to let people know that she is about
kind of like a not trying to make a big deal here, but there's like y'all need to move.
Okay.
And if they're not moving, then she will turn on the siren.
Let's go ahead and roll connections, actually, because I think this would be a fun way to utilize this.
Okay.
And then 1 second, I'm gonna try to route you guys the sound. 1 moment.
You said connections, right?
Yes. Okay. Probably going to be pretty loud for you guys. Is that okay?
Oh, no,
my players?
Perfect.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's perfect to me, at least.
All right, wonderful.
All right, connections.
Yes.
Excellent. Is that a good?
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Is there a 1 on there? I believe. Let's find out. There is 0. So that is unfortunately not a success. So you are a little bit backed up in traffic, and you do have to You do have to kind of like get the siren going to be able to head in your direction. But I'm wondering, like, what is it that you are intending on doing when you get back?
I think what she's first going to do is report. She's going to talk to the people that are in charge, the people that are looking for the information. She personally is probably going to be taking down a lot of notes very fast. She's probably going to try and get communication going between the right parties. Yeah. What that looks like right now, not entirely sure, but she's probably going to have to make those kind of connections happen back at the office. So she turns on the siren. If no one's moving, she's going to turn on the siren, and she's going to attempt that.
All right, so you've turned on the siren and you're going to head back. How long have you been an analyst?
An analyst? That would be 7 years.
Yep.
I believe 7 years as an analyst.
Okay, and so I'm going to ask you some questions, but at any time you can choose not to answer them. You can just be like, I'm not going to answer that right now, just so that it's completely in your control what you reveal to us and when. But I am curious. All right. How do you feel about being an analyst?
Well, it's safe. So far, it's very, very safe. I don't feel like I necessarily have to overextend. I feel like I can do a lot of the power from behind a pen. I don't have to worry about seeing anybody that may or may not be in pain, being hurt, because Selma's dealing with a little bit of trauma of her own, and of course is not ready to hop back into that. So the analyst job was something that she looked at as more of an opportunity, and maybe less. She's still passionate about it, of course, and she's still very technical and very detail oriented, but at the same time, it's not necessarily something that she's not doing it she's doing it for a good Samaritan aspect, but she's also got a lot of her own fears to face.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Selma. What was your dream then? What did you want to do?
Well, when, she was talking about superhero Selma, Superman Selma, she really did think about that when she was a kid. She thought, well, if people want world peace, what's the best way for me to do that? What's the best way that I can do that? What's the best way I can help people? And, other than helping little old ladies across the street, I want to be out there for good. I want to be out there making sure that these replicants aren't hurting anybody. I want to make sure that they are living, they are law abiding. And that goes back to very, very early time for Selma. But her passion was to initially help people, and there came a time where she thought she was helping, and it turned out that it was not helpful at all. So she's having to live with a lot of that. She's having to relive a lot of those memories every time she, dials in the radio. Every time she's working with someone new. Every time she takes in a perp, she's usually not the person even doing that. She's the one that has to talk to the person. She's almost this person that listens to everybody else and say, okay, well, here's what you need to do. Here's where you need to go. I'll be there to guide you. At the same time, she may be feeling a little bit of a lack of guidance, lack of structure.
Do you want to tell us?
That's why she's probably getting so upset in traffic. Yeah. She's not really having a good day.
Is the conversation that she had with her coworkers for the audience, it was last week, but for us in game, it was 15, 20 minutes ago, maybe max. What is that still on her mind, or was she able to properly just kind of like compartmentalize or shed it, rather? Were you able to just let that go?
It's difficult because in keeping with her history, I'm not sure she'd be able to let that go. That's probably one reason why she's feeling a little bit more irritable on the road. I mean, other than, of course, we just had an attack. You know, that's something where she can look at it as objectively criminal. But when she has problems with those on the force, when she comes up to a relationship that seems to test her you know, her patience or her time or what have you, she becomes, there's a defensive side there. There's a defensive side there that she's not exactly willing to share with people just yet. I mean, even after all this time, it's very much, you know, some things are better left without giving that imagery to people.
Right.
No, I would say that she's affected. You know, she's affected, but she's kind of got a hard shell.
Okay. Are you heading straight to the office, or will you be stopping for anything? Do you have any, like, comfort food or drinks that you might be grabbing at this moment?
I think what she's gonna do, she's gonna make herself a cup of coffee at the office. There's some spare K-cup thing. She'll probably just put it in there. They don't change the water anyway, so she's gonna go do it herself.
Okay.
She's already planning on her 3 to 5 cups of coffee.
Okay.
She's very much all right. Well, if that's going to be my vice, then that's going to be my vice.
Okay.
But yeah, she's going straight back to the office. As of right now, yes.
Okay. Has it always been your only vice?
Not really. There was a time when she was a bit of a smoker, but it wasn't necessarily wasn't legal. It wasn't a legal drug, and now it wasn't, maybe not the one you're not thinking. This was a drug that had been acquired by a friend. She didn't even know what it was for a while. It was it was what she wanted. It was like, this is helping my life. This is what she wants. Maybe 1 or 2 years down the road, that sort of deal just, again, really didn't pan out. Didn't help as much as she had thought. So, yes, there was a time where she relied on a substance and found that it was more debilitating than helpful.
Is that why you
now, whether
stopped?
or not she actually figured that out is
okay.
It maybe subconscious, maybe not, but it's not it might not even be a conscious realization that she was that it wasn't a good time for her. So she does smell ramen right now, and that does smell pretty good because she's going through the portion of town where they put those little black fungus mushrooms and little like a hard-boiled egg, but they do like some kind of seasoning in there. It's just the texture, you know. They just get the broth so right. But she's got bigger things on her mind, so she's gonna avoid the noodles. Just go straight to the office.
She's not gonna stop at the White Dragon noodle bar. All right, okay. So she's gonna head straight to the office. So we are going to go ahead and say that you arrive at the office. The way that the LAPD is structured is actually quite a tall building. I'm not sure what floor that you work from, Selma, but either way, you bring in your spinner up above on the top. It's a circular platform, and you'll lower down, and then essentially your spinner will go down its own little elevator, and then you will arrive at the LAPD.
All right.
And as you enter, the harsh neon lighting of the sponsored advertisements outside will cast an unnatural pallor over everything that it touches. So your office is constantly going through light changes. The relentless hum of machinery, printers, and scanner beams fill the air. You've got stressed officers' voices and ringing phones that kind of like do a discordant cacophony of sound for you. The lingering scent of stale coffee and the occasional whiff of fast food permeate the cramped break room. You've got a brief respite from the oppressive heat outside in that break room because it's the only source of kind of like fans or air conditioning, and then everywhere else in the office is pretty gross. There's a palpable tension in the station right now. It's almost tactile. Officers are hunched over cluttered desks strewn with paperwork and evidence. Worn-out chairs bear the weight of exhausted bodies. Their touch is a reminder of the relentless demands of a city torn between the privileged few residing in the upper 200 to 500 stories and the overcrowded, struggling mass below. Amidst the chaos, a sense of duty and responsibility still hangs in the air, a constant reminder that the LAPD must navigate this vast chasm of class disparity that defines this metropolis. What do you do?
That's very beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. What do you do when you enter in here? You're gonna make your coffee.
Yep, make my coffee. I think first thing I'm gonna do, go through the doors. How tall is the building again? I need to be reminded of this.
The LAPD building is, I want to say, about probably, we're gonna go with 58 stories tall at the moment.
Okay. Somehow 19's calling out to me. Is that okay?
Yeah, floor 19 works. Yep.
So
absolutely.
she's on the 19th floor. I'm just gonna mark that down here. She's on the 19th floor, and she starts to take the stairs because she has so much energy. She has so much of this brain excitability going on. She's nervous. She's anxious. She's got a pit in the feeling of her stomach, and yet you can hear the clap, clap, clap of her shoes going up the stairs. Her hands sweaty. She can feel them, the cold grip of this rail, and she starts going up the stairs. It's real empty. There's nobody else using the stairs right now. She can kind of hear a little bit outside of the door. You know, there's a lot of chatter, but she doesn't really want to talk to anybody right now. She just wants to take the stairs because she knows that no one's going to take them.
Right.
She's going upstairs, and her hand is just so clammy on this cold metal rail on the staircase, and it just feels so empty. And she just feels so alone in that moment. And she just sits down and she starts crying. And it's not a good cry either. It's one of those, like, you know, your glasses are up.
Meanwhile, on the other side of town, we're with you two, or three, rather. So remind me and us, the three of you are waiting outside. As far as I know, Skiff said he was going in first, and alone. Is that correct? Okay. Who wants to start? Are we starting with Skiff or are we starting with you two? I think we're starting with you two. And then we'll join Skiff and see what he's up to inside.
All right.
If Skiff is going to be, well, asking questions in there, we should be doing what we can out here. Don't you think?
Yeah. Well, we need to check any potential exits. How well do you know this place?
Like I said, I've been here before. I've worked a few cases.
All right.
I know some of the working people here. But there's also some people that we might be able to talk to around the bar. This is a pretty busy street. There's a lot that goes on here that people don't miss.
All right. We can do some canvassing just to see if anyone has caught sight of him, if he's come this way. What was his description? I'm not sure how much we actually caught of him through the door and then potentially jumping from one fire escape to the other, so...
Images on the Kia.
All right. I'm pulling it up. All right. Well, I tell you what, I'll go down this way if you want to hit that way. We'll hit this side of the street. We'll see if we get any hits. I imagine we won't go too far. I don't want to leave the other guy inside alone for too long.
What do you make of him?
I don't know yet. I don't want to assume. He was confident enough, so either he's sure he can do the job or he is just comfortable in this area.
Bob, don't beat around the bush. How do you feel about him?
From a glance, I don't know how much he cares, but not like he's just doing the job for glory or anything like that. He seems like the sort of person that maybe he's seen a lot, and he doesn't, he's not trying to put out any air of confidence. He's not trying to put out any air of authority. I'm sure he holds his own opinions, but he just seems like, I think he'll do the job fine. Do I trust him at my back? I don't know enough yet. Why? What are you getting?
Well, they're partners. They're always going to have each other's back. Otherwise, what's the point? I got the impression that this guy didn't exactly like us too much. I don't trust him.
Well, I'll defer to you. You don't trust him, though.
No.
All right. Well, then... Are you saying we shouldn't just rely on what he says then, either? I mean, I'm assuming you're going to be able to pick it apart, but I just want to know how much I need to be aware right now. Like, is this the sort of person you think will just pick up and back into an alleyway when things go bad, or?
Well, that's what Selma did. Who are we to assume that he'll do anything different?
All right.
She says that she's by the book, but we don't know shit about her.
No. All right. I'll keep both eyes open. I'm trusting you to do the same, and yeah, I mean, something pricks your ears or something rubs you wrong more than what you're feeling right now, please let me know as soon as possible.
I'm gonna have a chat. I know somebody down the street. Besides, if Renzo if Renzo bugs out, you'll be the one to chase him down, I think.
Yeah. Well, then I'm gonna hang out here then. I turn towards the bar. How much can I see into it from the street? Like, can I get a bead on the actual bar itself from where I am on the street, or is it just so obscured by neon or people or you know, things like that?
Why don't we go ahead and have you roll? Because I think you said you've not been here before, correct?
Yeah, this is I think we've been by this place and recognize that he does come here, but I've never tried to go inside or anything like that.
Okay.
Would this be? Oh, God! Would it be?
We can either do observation or you can do connections. Either one.
Yeah,
Obviously, it'll be the type of information that you get will be different depending on what it is that you roll.
I am equally whatever at both, so I'll go for observation. Damn.
So I think that you know generally where it is because you've watched him walk in that direction before, but you've never actually been there and you haven't really gotten close because you don't want to blow anybody's cover.
Right.
So I don't think you know exactly where it is, and no, you can't see. Inside for sure, and it's obviously the streets are incredibly crowded.
Oh, all right. So with Galen saying that he doesn't trust him, I'm immediately suspicious as well. So I turn to Galen. I'm like, well, I can't see him through the window, so I could just go inside and see if I can get a view from a distance. And then I look down at myself, and then, you know, my gun is hanging out. It's like, I don't have my jacket. What do you think?
About?
Well, if you're going to be going down the street and talking to somebody, you want me to hold off going inside until you get back?
It doesn't hurt to keep an eye out.
All right. I'm just going to stand here. I'm going to find a place to position myself to get a view of the street and the entrance into the bar. Before I go, I just turn to Galen and be like, all right, well, I'll be looking out and I'll just be right over there.
Fair enough. I got a CI that I've worked with. Gonna have a chat.
All right. What are you trying to pick up?
Well, if Renzo is here or is a frequenter of this bar, they might have seen something.
All right, fair enough. I'll be here when you get back.
Okay.
Make sure about that, Bob.
Ooh.
We'll see.
Okay, so my question for you is, how long do you think you guys wait before you decide to go in, Galen?
I'm gonna have a chat with my CI. If this skiff is worth a damn, then let's give him a chance to spread his wings.
Yeah, I don't think, unless there's some sort of ruckus or something, that I won't push in until Galen gets back. I'm just gonna wait for my partner, because I don't see a reason otherwise. If Skiff comes out beforehand, I'll talk to him. If anything happens, I'll deal with it as it comes, but I'm just gonna wait.
You're trying out a new look, I see, Bob.
Oh no. That's wonderful. I'll be over here.
Okay. We're actually gonna go ahead and switch over to Skiff, who is already gonna be inside the bar. Skiff, when you head into the bar, the bass heavy pulse of the electronic music reverberates through your bones. The floor beneath your feet vibrates in sync. The air is thick with the mingling scent of exotic cocktails, mingling spices, and the distant promise of intimacy. Holographic projections cast iridescent shadows across the crowd. Their laughter and whispered conversations are symphony. In the dim light, the glint of augmented eyes and the sheen of synthetic skin give away those who have ascended beyond the city's dark underbelly. It's a place where senses entwine, a sanctuary of hedonistic unity where, if only for a fleeting moment, the weight of the world above is forgotten. How often do you come here?
I'd say I'm probably a regular.
For work
Say,
or
like,
for pleasure or both?
Once every couple of weeks I'm in here.
Okay. Again, for pleasure or work only?
Usually for pleasure. I try not to shit where I eat,
Okay. And yet...
but needs must.
I see. And yet you're going to now.
A lot of people died. I'm assuming.
That's fair. Okay, so you are going to navigate your way through the crowd and you're heading, well, first of all, there's a bouncer at the door whom you know, since you're a regular, it's Oh No tonight.
Oh no. How's Trix?
It's all right. How are you?
Shitty. What else is new?
He's already kind of like opening and making way for you without even asking and just lets you through. He doesn't say anything else. It's almost like that this exchange that you guys have is the same every single time. And yeah, there's nothing really extra after that.
I pat his belly. You lost weight?
He laughs. It's very full and rich. And then his laugh fades away into the crowd.
I think that's the only time that, like, in his week, that Skiff ever hears, like, real, honest laughter. And he can't help but smile to himself.
I'm gonna quickly show everybody Oh No here. And back to you. All right, now what are you doing? Where are you headed?
I'm walking up to the bar. You know, doing, you know, a cop is a cop 24/7, so I'm,
Yeah.
you know, I'm scanning, you know, the audience and the patrons and stuff like that. See if there's any familiar faces or anything like that. I'm not necessarily going to do anything. I'm just, you know, going to make a note of who's here if I know anybody. If not, well, either way, I'm going to make my way up to the bar.
Okay. There is a bartender that you recognize. And I'm not going to say anything until you address them. But I'll put them up on the screen for the audience here. So you go ahead.
So this is an exchange that I've done with the bartender for, you know, ever since I've been coming here. Hey Flynn, is Ellen around?
She just kind of gives you like I think a very brief nod. You know, it's an exchange you guys have had multiple times before. And then what normally happens after this exchange?
She turns around, grabs a bottle of Lagavulin, the cheapest one that's there, because Lagavulin is kind of expensive, but I do like to treat myself. So she takes the Lagavulin and puts it in a glass. Neat, meaning no ice, no nothing, just 3 fingers of whiskey in a glass. And that's to let you in. That's how Skiff orders a Lagavulin neat. Asks for Ellen.
Ellen.
And that's what he tells people. He tells people he's going to see Ellen, his contact, when he's really going to get a drink.
So are you? So to be clear, you're sitting here just enjoying a drink. You're not actually working.
No.
Okay,
no,
you are.
I am
Okay.
working. No.
Okay.
She is my contact, but I don't say her name out loud to anybody.
Right. Okay. Yep. That's fair.
Yep.
And you give the name. You're talking to Flynn. And so then what happens next normally after you order the drink? How long does it approximately take?
Well, she's I would imagine she's seen me before. She knows what I do. She's friendly. She probably, you know, a regular bartender would ask you how you're doing, how's work, blah blah blah, something
do you like that?
So, absolutely, it's the only.
So
the only,
she has that dialogue with you often?
Yeah, it's the only real conversation. Like just like Ono's laugh. This is the only person I really have a regular conversation with from time to time.
Okay. Is it genuine or is it fake? You know, when you've got that like fake server vibe. Yeah. Okay.
It's playful,
but you think, does she? I guess what I'm asking is it that really overtly fake waiter speak where they're just like, hey, and they're very personable, but you know it doesn't go beyond that? Or do you think there is maybe genuine care or concern?
It might have started that way, but
okay.
after coming in, she knows that I'm not a bullshitter. I mean, when I do bullshit, it's obvious. I don't try to, I'm not devious. We'll make jokes, we'll laugh back and forth, but we both know that there's a line that we don't cross as far as, what we ask about each other's professions.
Especially because she knows you're a cop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you...
And I'm pretty sure she does some illegal shit that's, misdemeanor style stuff, but nothing serious.
So have you... Ooh, this is fun. What does her file look like with the LAPD? And have you hidden anything from this file?
I don't think there's anything that really needs to be hidden. It's mostly like kid stuff, drug possession, maybe some shoplifting here and there, maybe some minor tech crimes, like reselling non-brand shit on the black market or on the out behind the back of the bar or something like that. But in recent years she's cleaned up. She's actually looking to own the place someday soon. So she's not committed anything in recent years.
Okay. Do you think she has a chance of owning the place one day?
That's a tough answer. Yes.
It is, yeah.
But it'll take a while.
Do you...
Like, we're talking 10, 15 years.
10, 15 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that something that you talk about with her? Like, do you lie to her? Like, oh yeah, you're gonna own this one day, Or do you...
No, we definitely joke about, maybe when I retire, I get my pension, maybe I'll throw in with you. Maybe we own the place together.
Holy shit, I love that.
Joking.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Where are you? Yes, no, okay.
No, joking on the, kidding on the square a little bit, this would be a good retirement for me, owning a bar. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. It's
out of the cop life,
it's a pretty
and just
good bar,
a
also.
life of leisure.
Yeah. Okay. Now I had imagined your contact as being fairly young-ish, maybe 25. Not really too much younger than that, but what were you envisioning?
I was 28, 29.
Yeah. Okay.
There.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect then. So okay. All right. So then, how do you go about getting information from your contact? At some point, she probably leans across the bar, right? Do you guys have your conversation out in the open? Does she slip you a piece of paper? Is it on a napkin?
I probably take a couple of drinks, do the chit chat, how are you part of it, and then get square with her.
Yeah.
And just say listen, I don't like to bring cop shit in here, but I'm kind of up against the wall. You probably heard that explosion earlier.
Yeah, that's been all over the radio. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, when you have a chance, meet me down at the end of the bar.
Yeah, okay.
And if you don't mind, I just want to know some things.
Yeah, I figured.
So I get up, give her a little cheers, and I
She
mosey
puts
on down
up
to the...
a hand showing 4 fingers to let you know about 4 minutes, and then she'll be down that way.
Yeah.
Then 4 minutes passes by. Do you simply enjoy your beverage, or are you canvassing the bar?
I'm actually, if I'm at the end of the bar and there's not a lot of people crowded around me, I'll pull out that the all points bulletin or whatever.
Ooh, okay.
And peruse it and see what the actual shakedown of all of it is.
Yeah, okay. So as you do that, go ahead and is there on the sheet, what would we roll to try to be discreet about this?
Let's see.
There's no stealth option, I don't think, but I feel like it would be agility.
There is stealth.
Oh, is there? Okay, then let's roll that.
I'm really bad at it.
Oh, okay. If you want, you can roll agility instead, because I feel like stealth in this system has so much more involved in it. It's
okay.
espionage style stuff, and you're literally just using your body and your hands to hide the fact that you're pulling out a very big KIA.
Okay.
In the middle
I
of
don't
the
know if I
bar.
can roll actual agility, but I can roll some. I can roll mobility. That's a C
Yeah,
rank.
that'll work. Yeah, that'll work.
Same rank as agility.
Okay. Ah, success. Okay, perfect. Let me throw that up here so the audience can see it. Okay. So you pull out this device and you go ahead and you take a look at the all points bulletin, APB, and it basically says it's announcing the Prohibition Act, and that it's the immediate retirement of all replicants, whether or not they are compliant. So the most recent model that came out was the Nexus 8, and they are supposedly incredibly compliant, and they also have open-ended lifespans. So this bulletin is essentially recalling all units back to headquarters because they're going to do a systematic strike. You have a couple of different locations. Probably you can assume this is not written down in the APB, but there are probably a couple locations you all are going to go out and hit right now. You've been sort of preparing and waiting for this to pass. I think the whole department's been a little bit anxious in the past couple of weeks, especially as it looked like it was going to go through. This changes everything for you, because right now your unit does more than just dealing with replicants. But this APB bulletin says that it's going to be a change in the department. They're going to shift over to using unit-specific, like Blade Runner units. They're going to be under different direction rather than your old lieutenant, and it's just like a huge departmental shift, and so it's recalling all units back to headquarters. Do you continue reading, or do you change? Do you start to head back to headquarters before I continue?
No.
No, okay, you're just going to continue. Okay, I love it. Okay, so as you continue reading, it does list out the units and which units will be immediately shifted over into Blade Runner specific units. Your unit is listed, and you will, so it's Unit Crane will be joined with Unit Mastiff. And I think you would recognize that those are the two gents outside.
Yeah, no, and you just like, if the camera like kind of like focuses on him and stops, and he's in the middle of he's reading this in the middle of a drink, and he just goes, fuck.
I love this.
And then puts it, once he sees that, he just puts it away.
Yeah, okay. So, it's about that time. It probably took you a couple minutes to read through this whole bulletin, that your contact will come back over. And another bartender has come up and kind of like taken over so that she can step aside. All right, what's going on?
Well, you know what I do.
Uh-huh.
You know who I am. I don't got to go through all that shit.
Yeah.
But
Stop flirting and get to it then.
looking for a rep named Tyson Renzo. I describe what he looks like.
Do you show
Heard
me
he
a
comes
picture?
around here. Oh, if I have one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you do, but
Yep.
it would be on your KIA.
Yep.
Okay.
I take it out, find it real quick, slide it over to her.
Okay. I go ahead and take a look at it. I'm assuming that you're obscuring the actual bio. You're just showing the photograph so that I can see what he looks like, right? Or do you show her?
I would,
Okay.
I do like 74534 zoom in.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Okay, so I take a look, and now I need you to roll observation.
Okay. There it is.
That was not... Okay, that's a 0.
Was it fail?
So it was a fail. So
If I push,
Mhm.
what
You can
is
push.
it? What's the consequence of pushing?
You take immediate stress, but you get to re-roll up to 2 of those.
Okay. You know what? I don't know if anybody's pushed yet. I'll push. Let's try it.
Okay. Are you pushing both or just the one?
Oh, it's 1 stress per dice.
Mm-hmm.
Just to interject.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if this is a homebrew thing that you're doing or not.
Mm-hmm.
We're only supposed to take resolve damage, or when it's a 1 that is rolled.
When you roll to push, you immediately take stress.
You do not. It's only when 1 comes up.
So I believe the rule is, what we did was we made everybody have this, so nobody freak out and think anybody's a replicant. But I believe replicants, when they push, take immediate stress, whether or not
Right.
it's physical damage or whether or not it's a 1. So we just made everybody do that. So you're gonna take 1 stress.
Absolutely
Yeah.
savage every time you
Yeah.
push.
Yep, every time you push. So, but I
Okay,
mean, you
so-
can get rid of it. So
Where the stress points would be.
your resolve.
Oh, okay. So it would take down. So if I have 6 maximum resolve, it would take it down to 5,
Yep.
and then 4 for another dice.
Yes, if you want to do that. You will get
shit,
it
that-
back at the end of every session, but also if you choose to do anything to remove that stress in the episode as well.
Okay.
So like,
So you pay no matter if you
arguing this
win
drink,
or fail.
yeah, everything comes at a
Okay.
cost. But yeah, you can take this drink, probably can remove 1. So if you want, you can only take 1 stress and roll 2.
Okay.
And
So I
while
push.
yeah, and while you're doing that, I'll just explain to the audience the reason I did that is so that you all can have fun guessing who, if anybody, is a replicant. But the sheet isn't going to give it away. The rolls aren't going to give it away with you. Okay.
So I clicked push. Now what do I do from here?
Now you pick either 1 or 2 on the matrix that shows up. So like it should show you just
I can
the one
reroll
roll
the D10
yep,
or the
mhm.
D8. Oh,
Yep,
okay. So if I choose to just roll the, okay, I forgot I have 2 dice, or 2 different size dice. So if I roll the D10 and it's, what, it's 6 or higher, right?
Yep.
So it's 50-50
Yep.
on a D10. All right. I'm just gonna roll the 1 then.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Okay. So no.
Wait.
Yep.
Oh, the roll 5, then the 2 is D10. Yeah,
Yep.
2 is what I got. All right. So I failed.
Yep.
Okay.
now
So my
you won't
resolve is
take
now
any.
down to 5.
You won't take any because you're you're enjoying
that's
a
right,
drink.
that's right,
Yep,
okay.
Which removes that for you. So
Right,
okay.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So
All of that for you didn't see anything.
yeah. Well, I mean, her eyes flicker over the portrait that you have, and after a second, she looks up at you and says, "No. I mean, there's probably 100 guys like that come through here, but I don't think I've seen anybody like that tonight. But you know, it's been busy. At least nobody like that's come up to the bar."
Well, I'm not referring to just tonight. What we heard over the wire is that they might frequent this place, and you're saying that's not true.
I've not seen anybody like that. No.
Okay.
What are they wanted for? Can I know?
Yeah. Their in connection to the explosion that you heard earlier.
Ah, was it confirmed that they're a rep?
As much as can be without being tested directly by myself, but
Right, okay. Do you know the model? 6 or 8?
it said in the report, right? Or the
It did not say in the report, but
didn't?
I can
Okay.
give you some. Actually, I don't think you spoke to him, did you?
no.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think you know.
Okay. Out of curiosity,
Uh-huh.
would it make a difference?
Are you asking me, or are you asking me?
No, I'm asking Flynn.
Okay.
Would it make a difference what model they were?
Well, I mean, just to know how violent they could get, I suppose. 6 could come in here crashing up the place. Or be responsible for an explosion. And you know what they say about the 8s, that, they listen and are, generally speaking, very docile.
I'm gonna roll insight if you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind at all.
To see if she's being devious with me or she's being straight or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh!
Double success.
Okay, she's upset.
Upset how? It's kind of ambiguous.
Yeah, it is ambiguous. I would like to give you... Okay, so you have 2 successes. So what I will say is... She got upset when you mentioned that they were related to the explosion. There seems to be a little bit of fear in her as well, that I think with your 2, you can assume means she might know of this person and there's concern. It's not fear that a replicant's going to come into the bar and blow up the bar. The concern stemmed immediately from the explosion part of the conversation, so she's probably knows what that means, the implication that perhaps this replicant got to the point where he had to set off an explosion, and if he isn't a replicant, then, maybe with the underground, but I think this might imply or give you suspicion. I don't want to confirm anything, but it would probably give you some suspicion that she might actually know more about the replicant underground.
Look, Flynn. The way this situation shook out, I got the very distinct feeling that this replicant didn't want to set off the bomb. That I got a feeling that he wanted us to be able to defuse it and get away. But empty threats don't get things done. So the way it was handled by our side was not optimal. So I know that Tyson is not inherently evil or trying to cause loss of life. Tyson is a fugitive. He's running for his life. And when you're doing that, you have to do what you gotta. I understand that.
Do ya?
But whether I agree with their methods or not, I have a job and people die. So if you know something, please just tell me. I don't want to involve you any further than you need to be. I like this place. I hope to own it with you one day.
This is why we asked those questions in the beginning, because now I know how much that line means to her. Okay, go ahead and roll manipulation, please. Woo! You can have advantage. That was very good.
All right. How do you roll with advantage?
On the top of your sheet, there's just a little advantage button that you click. Should say advantage,
cool.
normal, and
Yep, got it. All right. Manipulation. Here we go.
Yep. Ooh, success. Okay.
Success.
Wow. Okay. I look uncomfortable. I'm clearly thinking about what I'm about to do, but you're a seasoned police officer, and you wait. You just let me stew in my own thinking for a second, and I shift my body weight, and then I eventually pull out an old-fashioned paper card, like a business card, somewhere. I flip it over, and I write something on the back, and then I slide it to you wordlessly across the bar. And then, choked up a little bit, I say, please leave.
I don't even look at the paper.
when I go back to my shift.
All right, put it in my pocket. I walk out.
And now we're switching scenes. Galen, you're coming in, right?
No, I'm down the street.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Where are we? We're over here. Let's see if I'm just moving myself over here. Sorry. Yes, continue. Where are you down the street?
Maybe 4 or 5 alleys down.
Okay. And what are you doing?
There's a CI that I know here.
Ooh, okay.
They've gotten in some trouble in the past. They go by the name of Ripple.
Ripple, okay. What do they look like?
Anxious. Very anxious all the time. I think they've been busted a few times. And I've actually helped them get out of a few scrapes here and there.
Why did you help them?
I'm a big picture kind of guy. I don't think that busting Ripple is going to really accomplish anything. And having somebody like Ripple in my network of contacts is only going to help me succeed in the bigger picture. There's a lot of people that do a lot of horrible things in this city. Ripple is just trying to help people get by from day to day.
I see. Can I go ahead and say that I deal in prescription pain relief medication? That's kind of what you've busted me for before.
Sure.
Not like a huge dealer or anything like that, but I, give it to the people on the street or, whatever, or I sell to people who I feel like need it, and it's my own judgment. So, I probably have rules like no kids, stuff like that. And I ask a lot of questions. Does that fit your idea of Ripple?
So.
Okay.
Generally fairly, I think pretty wiry.
Okay.
Small. Doesn't take very good care of themselves.
Okay.
And I can probably see them just on the corner someplace. Just outside of an alley.
Do we talk often?
Not often.
Am I nervous when I see you?
Probably.
Oh, man! What do you want?
What do you think I want, Ripple?
I didn't do anything, I swear. I'm okay, this week. What? I didn't! I swear!
Ripple. I thought we were on good terms.
Oh, come on, we are on good terms. I told you I didn't do anything this week. And half of last week either.
Look, I don't really care what you're up to right now. I have to admit.
Okay. Why not?
I need some information.
Okay. What kind of information? I don't know if I can help you. None. I'll try. Of course, I'll try.
How's business been?
What do you mean, how's business been? I just told you I haven't done anything for a week and a half. I've been going out of my mind.
Look. I'm not trying to hurt your business, but I can, Ripple. I can make life really complicated for you.
Oh, don't say that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please, do I know your name? Do I call you Galen?
I think probably Edwards.
Edwards, okay. Oh, don't do that, Edwards. Come on now, please. You're already squeezing me enough, okay? Look at me. I can't take this. I can only be squeezed a little bit, and you're squeezing me just right. Just maybe even a little bit more than just right. I can barely breathe. You don't need to squeeze me anymore. There ain't nothing coming out.
Are you aware of what's happened today?
Well, lots of things happened. Barry didn't come back from the laundromat. You could mean anything. What do you mean? What do you mean?
The Replicant Prohibition Act. It passed.
Oh. Shit. Okay. I don't see how that's gonna affect me any. Good riddance, I guess.
It might affect you a lot.
But what, just because you say it's gonna affect me a lot? Are you gonna squeeze me? Edwards, come on, please. I told you, I don't know nothing. Or if I do know something, I'll tell you the something that I know. So why don't you just ask me what you want to ask me, and I'll tell you the some things that I know. Or the nothing. If it's nothing that I know. Which it might be. Potentially nothing that I know. But hopefully it's something.
Let's hope that you stay in good spirits, because I have a lot of questions to ask. You see a lot here.
Yeah?
BB's bar.
Yeah? Oh, don't make me roll. Don't make me roll on BB's, please. I get a lot of customers and clients from BB's. Edwards.
I understand what you're saying to me, but it's a lot easier to find a new corner than it is, well, if you're a Replicant sympathizer.
Edwards, you wouldn't. I think genuine fear comes over my face now, and instead of fidgeting, I go completely still. And I wait.
I'm glad that I have your attention. You know how I work. Ripple, I don't like to make a mess.
Yeah.
I'm not like a lot of the other people on the force. I don't want to rough you up.
Physically. But you sure do make a mess of my life. And anybody else that you touch, just get on with it, Edwards. What do you want to know?
And take out my Kia. One, 3, left. This is the person that just blew up a building. I'm sure you heard about that, or you heard the sirens.
Yeah.
From what I understand, they're regular at BB's.
Yeah, I've seen him.
How long ago?
At least once a week. When I'm in there and I'm selling stuff to clients, he's not ever one of them, but he's usually around the bar, or sometimes they take him around back. And by around back, I mean, like, you know, in the whole secret entrance thing that you have to, you know. Too high class for me. Too high class for Ripple. And it's very clear that when you go to show Ripple the KIA, Ripple doesn't immediately lean in, even though you think, like, he would be the type to just start looking over your shoulder. But I just want everyone to know that he is so afraid of you that he will not lean in to look at the KIA until you show it to him. So he takes a glance and then instantly steps back to create more space between you before answering you. He's no longer looking at your KIA when he speaks.
And this is something I notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's always this way with you, though. Well, actually, I don't know if he is. I think he's only this way when you really come down on him hard like you just did and threatened his life, essentially.
Look, Ripple.
I swear, that's all I know. That's all I know.
I need you to be square with me.
I'm being so square. I'm being so square. I'm a cube.
I'm gonna take a step towards Ripple. I'm gonna hold the Kia up and make eye contact.
I swear it, Edwards. I'm telling you everything I know. You can you know what you know what if you go in through
Ripple,
the side.
Shut up. Look at me. I'm not trying to hurt your business. I'm not trying to ruin your life. But this replicant just killed a lot of people. If I don't stop this person, a lot more people are going to die. A lot more.
I'm telling you everything I know, Edwards. Going through the side door, there's a false wall.
Are they with anybody else, Ripple? Have you seen them with anybody else?
His eyes dart madly back and forth as he's trying to remember, and I feel like you can sense the genuineness and panic as he's trying to recall this information. I mean, sometimes he's sitting with somebody else, but I mean, it could just be somebody else at the bar. I don't know. And sometimes he's talking to the bartender, but he could be ordering a drink. I don't know. But I have seen him go into the back. So go in through the side entrance, on the north side, and then there's a false wall. You just go down there, and when you get to the bouncer, you just answer the riddle, and they'll let you in. Sometimes I serve clients in there, and don't wear your fucking coat. Be less LAPD. Can I go now?
You have any Xenergy?
Yeah. I'm still charging you. I gotta make a living. I gotta eat.
Fair enough.
Okay, he reaches into his inner coat where he's got a bunch of different pockets with everything that you might need, and then he gives you, what is it that he's giving you? You said synergy, right?
Xenergy.
Xenergy. What is this? Tell us. Unless you don't want to.
They're small translucent capsules. They're a stimulant. They help with energy, strength, and pain tolerance. Originally, they were made for people that had chronic pain.
How long have you been buying this from me?
It's never for me. I buy it in case I need it.
But I'm assuming I don't know that. And I was about to follow up question, ask you if you actually need it or if you're just buying it from him to keep him sated in some way, or to... Because I think it's clear we've all understood that Ripple's a little bit of a talker here. We've learned in this conversation. So I want to know if you're buying these things and like maybe feeding him information so he chats on the street that maybe you're an addict of some sort. Because he will, he might tell somebody.
I would buy every time I see him.
Yep, okay. Interesting. All right. And it's not a lot, it's just a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. And where do you keep this?
I imagine I would probably just keep it in like a close pocket.
Okay. He charges you the normal amount. You pay him. And it's a really strange switch that he's just made, where he was terrified for his life and now he's in business mode. You make the exchange, and then when you're done, it's almost like he realizes again that you just threatened his, not just his livelihood, but his life with the new Prohibition Act that went through. It also gives a little bit away that you would definitely pick up on, that when you said earlier in the conversation, you said the Prohibition Act, it's gone through. Well, he went, oh shit, okay. But now he's reacting as if he knows the implications of what that means, that you did threaten his life, because the Prohibition Act says that you can detain, eliminate a human that is a replicant sympathizer. So he has been paying attention, or someone has told him what that means. Anyway. Okay, are we done now? Can we be done now? Not that I'm pushing you or whatever, but I'm, I don't want people to see you, here for too long. You buy and go away.
I'll see you around.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And I'll turn and walk away.
And he goes back to rubbing his hands and looking around and being all skittish. Where do you go?
I'm gonna head back to BB's.
Okay, in the parking lot to talk to your partner? Or inside?
I'm gonna wait outside.
Okay. We're gonna say that you are arriving at the same time Skiff is exiting the building. So I'm gonna switch over to the three of you.
How'd you make out?
Before I get outside, on my way out, can I look at the piece of paper that Flynn gave me?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. So I already had you roll your manipulation. So when you flip it over, it is a drawing of a fish. Let me see how I describe this. Hold on. It's a very plump fish, and two of its fins are kind of up. It looks like it might be, standing upright and maybe saluting. It's just the weirdest cartoon. If you want, it's our dance emote. So if you type story dance, you'll see it.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Yeah.
It's like that. Like a big, I want to say it looks almost like a guppy. So you can see the tail, but the hands are up, and it's just that. And drawn on the back of the card. And the front of the card is I don't know, some local restaurant or something like that.
Sure.
To you, that's probably not relevant, but...
Does the fish mean anything to me?
We can roll. It would be a connections roll.
Okay. Good. I'm good at those, I hope. I hope I'm not lying.
Yeah, let's find out. I think you are, actually.
Well, I have an A. I'm just saying, rolls are rolls, man.
Yep. You never know.
All right,
One.
I'll take a success.
Yeah, I think you recognize it. So what I would like to ask you then is, do you think you recognize it from an advertisement, or have you been to this place before? Do you think?
What kind of a place is it? I mean, if it's like
a club.
street vendor.
It's a club. Yep. It's a very fancy one for how, we're basically anybody that lives below 200 stories is kind of in the slums. But it's very, very nice for down here. So I don't know if it's a place you would frequent. Yeah.
It's not a place that I've been. It's probably, it's a place I've heard of. Do they have any sort of criminal record or anything like that? Reputation?
No. Not that you know of, and if you want, you can look it up in the database. But you recognize the club. You recognize the fish from the neon sign that displays outside the club in the advertisement. So while you haven't been there before, the hollow ad that shows that dancing fish that goes back and forth from the blue to the magenta and the neon pink, and then back and forth as it continues dancing. And I think you can recall the ad for the club called Electric Dreams. And
so that's
it advertises, it advertises having lots of animals, obviously not real animals, but I think maybe you heard somebody say at one point, like, wow, they had like birds flying overhead that weren't in cages. And it's just this very like exotic,
do people go
very
there
luxurious place.
To dance and schmooze, or is it a drug? Like, do people go there to get high?
Dance,
pleasure models.
Pleasure models, yeah. It's like
Okay.
BB's, but a little bit more restrictive in who they let in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I walk out. I have this piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
All that memory that we talked just about is just like, a flash. Like, oh, I know this place. I've never
Almost
been there,
like
but I've
hear
seen
the
the
jingle.
advertisements.
Yeah. Electric
And
Dreams.
as Galen, right? Galen, what did you say again?
Galen Edwards is his name. Yep.
Right, Galen Edwards. Yeah.
I think when you say my name, I look at you and I say,
Oh no! I was going to respond to what you had said before.
okay, so you
I'm
don't
sorry.
say my name.
No,
All
no.
right. So, what did you find out?
I walk up to him and I hand him the piece of paper.
I'll start walking towards him. At this point, I was a little ways away. If I see Galen there, then I'm starting walking. I'm probably not there quite yet, at a little bit of distance.
You know it? Know the club?
Do I?
I'll leave it up to you. You can roll for it, or you can just say you do or you don't.
Normally, I love rolling for things, but I think
It's really
I do.
hard in this system, yeah. So,
Okay.
have you been there before, Galen?
To answer to you, yes, I have.
Okay.
I say to Skiff, looks familiar.
Electric Dreams. High class club. Pleasure models. Synth animals. Just hang out for people with more money than the ones that come here. But I asked my contact Ellen about it, and she said that's all she gave me. And I trust her, so that's where she's leading me. How about you?
I arrive next to them at this point. I don't say anything.
I got confirmation from a CI down the block. They've seen Renzo in here multiple times. Often alone, sometimes with others. No commonalities. They do frequent this place though. So let's hope your contact is right. Otherwise, I'm not sure where to go from here.
Well, at the very least, we got a lead, but we should probably head back to the station before people start noticing we're not there.
Your partner gonna be a problem?
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that, but I'll say no. And if she is, my problem.
Fair enough.
I think that's a perfect place to take us to break. Everybody go, stretch your legs. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. We got some really exciting things coming up for the show, including some giveaways of the system, from Free League and some Roll20 versions, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, go stretch, maybe get some sush. What do they call it now? Unoosh or something? All right. See you in a couple minutes.
I can also make up words.
No, look it up. It's like new suit or something. Oh, for
I'm
crying out
looking it
loud.
up.
Thank you.
New suit.
Oh my god.
Are you tired of living on the edge? Wondering when the next data breach or cyber attack will strike? It's time to unplug from the digital madness and embrace the unbreakable power of analog technology. Solari offers you an impenetrable fortress for your most critical information. No more sleepless nights worrying about hackers, viruses, or data corruption, or another blackout. Don't wait until your digital castle crumbles. Solari.
When you step out of Eldon Tyrell, the world takes notice. An object of desire, a beacon of sophistication. Heads will turn, whispers of envy will follow. Embrace the luxury you truly deserve. Opulence is your statement. Your journey into a world where opulence is your birthright. Find us in the heart of Sector 9's fashion district. Just steps away from the Luminar Plaza. Open 7 days a week. Discover the allure of being truly exceptional. Opulent. And opulence meets desire.
アニモイドの世界への入り口、モイドスタッフへようこそ。
At Offworld, we go beyond the boundaries of your imagination. Experience life in ways you've only dreamed of. Breathe fresh air, see blue skies, and experience clear, clean rain. Forge unforgettable connections. Encounter the sublime. Define your own existence.
Este fin de semana para la venta del año, venga a Autouniverso en Corona para precios increíbles, cero interés y no se requiere el primer pago hasta 6 veces del día de su entrega. Venga a Autouniverso en Corona este fin de semana para la venta del año.
At Metrocab, we understand the pulse of this city. Our fleet of sleek, cutting-edge taxis is your ticket to convenience, safety, and efficiency. We're more than just a ride. We're your lifeline. Join the ranks of satisfied Metrocab passengers who experience the difference. Punctuality, reliability, and affordability are our promises to you. Book your ride today.
生命に触れた都市ではアニモイドがあなたの意志表示になります。スピード、感覚、仲間意識、彼らは群衆の制御や操作講習に優れています。モイドスタッフでは彼らはペット以上の存在です。彼らは家族です。
Whether you seek adventure, enlightenment, or simply a chance to redefine your reality, Offworld offers a portfolio of captivating experiences designed for the discerning explorer. At Offworld, we go beyond the boundaries of your imagination. Experience life in ways you've only dreamed of. Breathe fresh air, see blue skies, and experience clear, clean rain. Forge unforgettable connections. Encounter the sublime. Define your own existence. With Offworld, the possibilities are infinite. Offworld, where your destiny awaits. Book your journey today and transcend the limits of humanity.
No puedo más. Me acabé. Ay, por favor, no llores más, que no puedo contigo. Ay, no, tú quieres a Por favor, no me dejas, no me dejas. Yo me voy. Yo te quiero. No.
Quisieras martes por la noche a las 9 en Canal 8.
あなたがベテレンのハントラーであっても、初めての探検家であっても、手川、風門、またはヒゲの生えた友達があなたを待っています。もう一度ストップ。今日あなたの仲間を見つけてください。
In a world on the brink, where innovation is the key to survival, there's a name that stands above the rest, the Wallace Corporation. At the Wallace Corporation, we're pioneers of progress, creators of tomorrow. Our patents, too numerous to count, redefine what it means to live in this crowded, ailing world. We've dedicated ourselves to making human life easier in ways you can't even imagine. From revitalizing the everyday to solving the extraordinary. Our innovations are the heartbeat of a better future. Whether it's enhancing the human experience, rejuvenating our planet, or unlocking the secrets of tomorrow, the Wallace Corporation is there, leading the way. Join us, and together we'll shape a world that defies the odds. A world where the boundaries of possibility are constantly redrawn. The future is in our hands. Visit us at the Wallace Corporation Center, where tomorrow begins today. Wallace Corp. The future is ours.
At Offworld, we go beyond the boundaries of your imagination. Experience life in ways you've only dreamed of. Breathe fresh air, see blue skies, and experience clear, clean rain. Forge unforgettable connections. Encounter the sublime. Define your own existence.
モイドサブでは彼らはペット以上の存在です。彼らは家族です。
Introducing the Neo-Drive X9, the epitome of spinner innovation. Navigate the urban jungle with ease thanks to our state-of-the-art autonomous driving system. Elevate your status, embrace the future, choose Neo-Drive. Neo-Drive X9, the future of transportation is here.
モイドスタッフ、今日あなたの仲間を見つけてください。モイドスタッフ、今日あなたの仲間を見つけてください。
Whether you seek adventure, enlightenment, or simply a chance to redefine your reality, Offworld offers a portfolio of captivating experiences designed for the discerning explorer. At Offworld, we go beyond the boundaries of your imagination. Experience life in ways you've only dreamed of. Breathe fresh air, see blue skies, and experience clear, clean rain. Forge unforgettable connections. Encounter the sublime. Define your own existence. With Offworld, the possibilities are infinite. Offworld, where your destiny awaits. Book your journey today and transcend the limits of humanity.
When indulgence means distinction, picture yourself in the world of elements. Wrath, the epitome of life.
Rain off.
What are you doing? Back at the LAPD.
right now I'm in my office, and I'm running, as far as I can tell, a list of every single person that lived in that building or has ever been associated with that building, any maintenance, any kind of crew, anybody that's ever walked into that building. I want to make sure if there's any sort of camera footage. I'd like to make sure that that's Esper compatible. I'd like to run it through the Esper and see if that's possible that I can get a different angle on that. I'm not entirely sure because I really don't know this building too well, but as far as I know, it's standard tenant building. Nothing too crazy. What I have gleaned is that we don't know at this point how many people were hurt in the blast, how many people died in the blast, and that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I'm also trying to establish contact with the medical team, see if we formed up any sort of medical. So right now it's a lot. She's going through pretty much everything. 'Cause she's got 90 different things on her mind at once. But right now she's looking to establish any sort of footage, any evidence of people interacting with the perp.
Yep. Okay. So this is going to be a connections roll.
Okay.
And then are there any resources you want to call on? Now, we haven't done this yet, but...
Sure.
Yep. If there is anything, absolutely. If not, that's okay too.
Yeah, actually, I was going to call my buddy, was it Coco, down at the crime lab?
Okay. Yeah.
I wanted to see if maybe he had any insight on the subject. As far as I know, we've had some pretty good rapport.
Yep. So we're just going to... Coco is in the book, but the book takes place in 10 years, I think.
Oh,
so
okay.
2036. So we're going to say that Coco is someone else. Who else do you deal with at the crime lab?
Well, there's Wendy. Wendy's great.
Wendy, okay, I love
usually
Wendy.
talk to Wendy, well, I call it Wendy Wednesday, which sometimes I call her up and I just check in, make sure she's doing okay. But, no, I call my buddy Wendy. As I expect, she'll have heard the news by now. She'll probably normally she's pretty cheerful, but I anticipate her to be a bit somber. But I'd like her help on this.
Do you think that she... Wow, okay, so this is, while I'm thinking this through, so she works down at the actual crime lab. She's doing, like, forensics, and does she deal with the morgue also? Does she deal with bodies, too, do you think?
Actually, no, I'm not sure about that. Probably not. I think that's somebody else's job.
Okay, so do you imagine that Wendy basically is like your information gatherer? Maybe
Absolutely.
She has the information from the morgue, she has the information, whatever, and then basically she gives you that info? Okay.
Right.
All right.
Right.
So then we'll say, what
Right.
does Wendy look like, do you think?
Well, she's a bit short.
Have you met her? I just realized. Have you met her in person, or do you deal primarily?
Oh well, I've
over
met
the
her.
line?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
we'll have coffee together. You know,
Okay.
at this point, I feel like she's one of my very good friends on the force. But I would not, if I'm not that kind of person where if she were to be like, we're not really friends, I'd be like, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
But Selma feels a connection with her.
Okay.
Wendy's also she's very bubbly, very bright, but she forgets a lot, and so I feel like we kind of balance each other out with that.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. How long has she been on the force working with you?
Oh, I'd say about 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Really.
So she has only known you
She was a
as
transfer.
an analyst. Okay.
Yeah, she did. She was initially not with LAPD.
Ooh, was she from a different sector or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Different sector. Yep.
Did she work in law enforcement before, or is she new to this?
Yep.
Okay.
She's always,
so she's
always
from.
been. Yep, she's been my forensics girl, and anytime I need fingerprints, anything analyzed, in that department, can't think of it right now, but that is where I go. Specifically.
Okay. So, all right. So you go ahead and you give her a ring, and she answers, and she's excited because she sees your extensions. She knows it's you. Selma, hi.
Hi. How you doing?
How's it going?
Well, up here I can kind of see the smoke still.
Wait, what smoke?
It's pretty weird.
Wait, what happened? What?
Wendy, have you been down there all day?
Yeah. What? Yeah, I'm working on something.
Oh my God, Wendy.
What? What's happened? Just tell me.
All right. Well, there was an explosion.
Okay.
There was an incident. This actually happened not too long
incident.
ago.
Okay.
Right. It was with it was a latest
Selma,
beat that I was
who's
doing.
hurt? Who's hurt? Give me the details.
I'm
Specifics.
just not sure right now. That's what I'm trying to glean that information, Wendy.
Okay.
I'm not trying to jump to any conclusions, but it did seem like people were hurt
Okay.
in the blast vicinity. It was
Oh
rather
my
large.
God.
I mean, this was in
All
a
right.
whole. This was an attendant building. PB, can you remind me of the
Yes.
street?
I actually don't know what street. Oh, wait. Hold up. Because it's on his sheet. Let's go look. Hold on. Ooh, we get to go over to the map section where we can look at Tyson's card because it says on Tyson's card where he is, Winterton Towers in Sector 6. So he's in
Okay.
Tower A on the 2nd floor.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's all right. So it was in it was in it was at Winterton. It
Oh,
was at the Winterton Towers.
oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
Right.
We're thinking. I mean, this was just shortly after the act was just passed today.
yeah. What?
Now, surely you
It
know about
passed?
the.
I did not know that. I've had my,
all right, okay.
I've been elbows deep in a project. I'll tell you about it later.
You want me to come down there? I mean, I can come down there and meet you. You need like coffee, a snack from the vending machine? I can get you something.
Yeah, you know what? I might just come up to you.
Okay.
I'll just come up to you. I need to get out of here
Yeah,
anyway.
it's a lot. It's
Yeah.
it's a lot. I mean, I'll talk to you by the phone if you want to. I understand if you're really wrapped up in something.
No,
but,
I just, you know what I should do? I should just double check and check all the bulletins, and then I'll be right up. I'll just be
Okay.
5 minutes, maybe max.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Take your time. Okay.
Okay.
Bye bye.
She never says bye. She just hangs up, and he knows that it wasn't. She doesn't mean anything by it. She's just like, our conversation's over,
Sure,
done, and now
sure,
she's gonna go
sure.
and she'll come back up in a couple minutes. But you also know that she's probably, now that she's gotten that news, she doesn't really handle stress very well, which is probably why she's in a quiet crime lab where she can just like hyper focus on, whatever project she's been given or collecting this information. And she likes to hyper focus on that, but probably you know her well enough to know that right now she's basically gonna go through all of her, it's not called email now, it's called something else, but she's gonna go through everything that she has to at the database, catch herself up, read on the news, and then probably she'll come back all, caffeinated and like, oh my God, I had no idea, and, something like that. So, okay. So it's probably about this time that your friends arrive, and by your friends I mean your coworkers. So I'll
squad.
move us over here. Yeah, your squad, both units, and they arrive together.
Now I'm in my office. Do I know about this? Or I mean, that at
This
least
is
that's where
such a fun question. Okay.
Yeah, because
Where-
I'm in my office. I'm not sure if I know that they're down there yet.
Yeah, okay, so do you guys work separately? I need to know, where are your offices? Do you and your partner at least share a desk space? Now remember, it's cramped. Not everybody has their own office space. It's very busy, overpopulated LA. So it's not like, you've got the whole cubicle situation going on where, you're facing and you got a bunch of people around you, so.
Yeah, I had assumed that I work at a desk in the bullpen, so it's out in the open.
Yeah, that's what I was
don't know if
imagining as
Galen
well.
would be right next to me or not, or across from me or anything like that. But I imagine it is where I am.
Can we do like scrum style? So you guys are probably across from each other, and then you got, well, I guess you guys will have new desks now. But yeah, essentially the whole office is moving and buzzing, and people are like packing up their things to rearrange. So you guys walk in and see that. You've got people putting stuff into boxes. Galen, you will know because you read you didn't read it. It was Bob and Skiff that read.
I haven't read it.
You
I only
didn't
read
read
the
it.
top, and since there
Okay.
was stuff going on, I
just
still don't know.
ignored it. Okay, so then Skiff knows that they're doing this probably to rearrange for the departments, right? Everybody's gonna have their own specific area now, so this floor might be designated to something else. But to the two of you, it might seem strange that half the office is packing up their shit in little boxes to move. I don't know if you think layoffs right away or what, but it is a little bit strange to you.
I'm just taking my time as we get into the office. I take my coat off. I'm in no particular rush to get anywhere or do anything. I lay my coat on the back of my chair and I don't look like I'm in any sort of hurry to speak with anybody.
I make a beeline to my partner's desk.
Yeah.
See if she's there.
I think that I would probably do something. I think I'd walk in. Is there an open coffee station there?
Yes, there is. There's like you've got one break room, and it's the only place where there's like fans and air conditioning, so the rest of the office can be quite hot. So sometimes you'll find officers or analysts in here just taking a break from the heat. And you actually have a coworker who loves, coffee and has like always brings in a wide variety for people to try. Sometimes it's the most disgusting thing you've ever tasted, and sometimes it's absolutely delicious. It depends on, I guess, how much you care about the coffee. But he's always trying something new, and he's always bringing it in to share, which is really surprising because, everything's really fucking expensive and everybody's really poor. So the fact that you still have someone that is taking time to share things with the office is kind of a big deal. He's probably one of the only ones that does that. So.
All right.
Who was this?
That would be Sam.
Sam.
Let me look up his last name.
Is this the same Sam? Is this my Sam?
No.
This is not my Sam.
Just another fella named Sam. No. Your
right.
Sam has been missing for a while.
All right, fair enough. Because it is weird. Anyway,
Jin is
I'm
his
gonna.
last name, by the way.
I'm just gonna go over to the coffee station and look at the pot and just sort of, and then I'm just gonna pour a cup and brace myself. And then I'll just go ahead and fuss about making it. And after I'm done with that, I'm just gonna go join Galen at the desk. I'm not gonna sit at my desk though. I'm gonna sort of sit on the edge of his with the coffee cup, and not really say anything for a couple seconds. Just take a sip of the coffee and look around at all the hubbub.
Do I find oh, sorry.
It's fine. I'm just doing background noise. People shouting as they're like, "Where do you want me to move this bulletin board?" Go ahead.
Do I find Selma at her desk?
I think so.
Okay.
Beth, you're at your desk, right? Or sorry, Selma, you're at your desk. Yeah, she's at her desk.
I take out my not ATM. What is it?
Your KIA.
KIA. There you go. I take out my KIA. I throw it with the article, or with the announcement. I throw it on the desk, like towards her. I assume you've seen this shit.
What the hell is this? Is this a joke?
Order came down today. That act they were trying to pass through, they passed it. Not only that, but I point at the part where it says who we're going to be partnered up with. That.
Ain't that just the way of it?
Well, I'm gonna go talk to the LT and see if something to be done about this, because this is bullshit. It's what it is.
Do you have a second, Kalispell?
Yeah.
What'd you find out? Anything?
Oh, not me. Sorry.
Found out that there's a place that my contact at the bar pointed me to called Electric Dreams. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a higher class club.
Electric Dreams.
Yeah, they got a lot of reps out there, animals, pleasure models, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
No real criminal record to speak of. Not a huge reputation, but
Have you run anything through the mainframe yet, or you
No,
waiting
not
on?
yet.
I'm waiting on doing that. Okay.
No, wait until I got back here.
Yeah. God, it's gonna be a long night. You want some coffee?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, listen.
Mind if I-
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Sorry. Go.
You want to come with me?
I'm just not sure I can right now. I mean, I've got a
If you're
billion
busy,
different things.
it's all right. I just want to see if I can get this worked out where we don't have to,
You know what?
you know.
I'll put this down. I could stretch my legs. Let me come with you. I'll come with you. I need to get up anyway.
All right.
She kind of just dusts herself off, puts her coffee there, almost spills it. Oh, Jesus. All right. Okay. I'll following you.
I stop before, like, when she gets up, I stop and I turn around to her. What's going on with you?
Do you ever feel like you're living the same day? And you ever feel like it's a day that you just didn't want to live again? It's that kind of day.
It got to the point where I thought everybody was doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm processing. Let's put it that I'm processing. I'm doing what I feel I have to do.
Was it the explosion?
No, I just feel like a failure. I feel like the same way I did in the car. You gotta push past that.
Well,
I don't want to bring it here, you know? I'm just trying to, and she blanks out for a second.
if it makes you feel any better, a lot of that going around. Failure, that feeling. Kind of being a cop, right? You always could do more.
Always could
Never
do
do
more.
enough.
That's what I'd like to do is just make sure I'm ahead, you know?
Well, if
So
it makes
far.
you feel any better, you're the best cop I've ever worked with, or anything like that. You taught me a lot over the couple years we've worked together. You got your head on straight, heart's in the right place. Stopped me from doing a couple of dumb shit things in the past.
Damn straight. Hey, that goes both ways.
Can't blame yourself. Do the best you can.
You're right.
Go home, come back, do it again. I put my hand on her shoulder, and I don't say anything. Just
Thanks, Gif. And she motions, shall we?
But you might have to hold me back. Just letting you know right now.
I'll be there to do what I can.
So you two are heading to talk to Gaff, right? The lieutenant?
Yep, Lieutenant Gaff.
Okay. All right. So just so that I and the audience can digest the tension in the room, y'all know that you're going to be in a unit together, but you're like just effectively ignoring these other two that are nearby, right? You're just straight up cold.
Why do you think you were going to talk to Lieutenant?
Yay! Okay, all right. And then what do you...
I thought
what
that
do-
was obvious. I thought you
no,
put
it-
that shit together.
Well, I just want to make sure that it's very clear that you guys are like, fuck this, I'm out. But I want to know what Bob and Galen are doing to it. Are they just standing there watching, or are you guys also pissed? What's going on?
So I imagine that I would know that Skiff is going to speak with Selma, which is why I was taking my time. I'm waiting to see
If
when
they're gonna be a
they're
problem.
yeah, waiting to see what's happening and if they're going to Lieutenant Gaff. And I'm patient the entire time. I'm probably just kind of catching up with stuff at my desk, which probably has a lot of like paperwork and stuff on it. And I'm just kind of like looking to see if there's anything important that I would concern myself with. And then I would be keeping an eye out for when they look like they're going to be speaking with Gaff.
Okay, what is your intention to do when they go to speak with Gaff? Because they're definitely going to go do that. And I don't think they're being very discreet about it, right, guys? You're not, you're just getting up and heading right to the lieutenant's office. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm essentially, I'll say to Bob, and I say, let's give him a minute.
Have you already, like, do I at this point know the teams and everything? Have you read through this stuff, saw it, and then let me know? Or do we know this? Or are you thinking they're going to tell on us? Just in general. You got the feeling. Okay. Yeah. All right. They're tattletales. Well, at least that's the vibe. All right. So I think at this point.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
angle,
me either.
Like,
and now I'm like,
great.
Sorry.
So, yeah.
So
I usually don't concern myself with those updates right away.
But I mean, you guys did get a building blown up, baby.
So Bob's desk is immaculate. After he sat down across, like on the table, on Galen's table, essentially, one leg up, one leg still on the floor, drinking his coffee. He started doing paperwork immediately. He's trying to, like, reference all sorts of like codes and everything for what happened, like step by step. Maybe have mentioned out of the side of his mouth to Galen a few things just for confirmation. And then as soon as he says that, I think I'd look up and look at Galen and then follow his gaze. And then I'd look back over and be like, what do you mean?
You heard what Selma said, right?
Yeah, I did.
Well, it won't look good if we try to, I don't know, get the first word in.
Oh. I'm not too worried about it. And then I put down the paper, even though I said I'm not too worried about it, I am curious. So I've put down the paperwork and I'm watching them go as well.
And just to be clear, because paperwork and what you reveal to your superiors is a mechanic in this game, are you just waiting and watching? You're not filing a report, you're not doing anything, you're not uploading your perspective, nothing. You're just waiting.
Just waiting.
Okay.
I'm waiting, just to be clear. I'm waiting a minute or two for them to start their conversation with Gaff.
And then you're going to interrupt?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, all right. Meanwhile, we'll go ahead and switch over to the conversation with Gaff. So I want to know a couple of things. The first thing is, how is your relationship with Gaff? But before you answer that, I want to let the audience know, if you've seen the first film, Gaff is in the first film. He's the one that does the origami and speaks to Deckard in the very first scene. So it's been 3 years since the first film. If you haven't seen the film, don't worry, I will also fill you in. But it's been 3 years since that first film. But that is who we're talking about right now. And for those of you who haven't seen the film, he's striking. His eyes are a wild blue. They're very big, and he's superbly dressed all the time. And he's the type of lieutenant who wants to see you dressed well, because you're representing the LAPD as well. And he sometimes will absolutely go out of his way to say, hey, you need to dress better. But other times he just looks you up and down when you enter the office, and depending on whether he looks left or right, you know if he's pleased with your appearance or not. He's not actually incredibly talkative. He says what he needs. He's a lot like Galen, actually. He says what he wants to say, and he's pretty direct. So yeah, I want to know what your relationship is like with Gaff. You two that are walking in, yeah.
I think Selma's probably a little intimidated by him because she doesn't really dress that well. She's not really like a snappy dresser. She put on this Argyle shit because that's what she views as like, okay, this is probably, somewhat nice work attire. She has these really crappy brown shoes that she wears everywhere, and he's given her crap for that before. But, she hasn't kicked her off the force for it, so she keeps wearing the brown shoes. She feels like Gaff is a good leader, but that he, in his brusqueness, he misses a lot of the finer details, and so she feels like she's had to bring some of that, the little information, little bits of information to his attention.
Right. Okay. How does he react when you point this stuff out?
Well, fairly. I mean, it's not as if he doesn't listen to what I'm saying. He definitely takes it into account, but whether or not he's aware of it, or I guess if we had to look at it like psychologically, she's intimidated because he doesn't offer up all of his information all at once, whereas she is very much like, I've got to give this all to you right now.
Yeah, she's like people reader, right? She's an analyst,
right.
like,
Right.
she
Right.
I don't know if I can say that. Can I mention the VK stuff?
Sure.
But yeah, okay. She's incredible at the VK, right? So she has spent a lot of time being able to read people. So the fact that Gaff doesn't really give her anything to read probably just, makes you a little uncomfortable.
Right. It's uncomfortable because he dresses so well. He speaks very eloquently and he's concise. However, that does cause a bit of, well, I'm not really sure who this person is. So, she tries to speak his language, but most of the time she ends up rambling, and she can see that he doesn't really like that too much.
Okay. What about you, Skiff? What's your relationship like with Gaff?
I usually I try to stay out of his way. Like, I try not to ruffle his feathers. I try to walk the line between, doing what I think is right and doing his orders. And I think I've done a pretty good job of getting the job done, so he doesn't, like, come down on me. Also, like, looking at him and looking at me, the way I dress and stuff like that. The way I dress is I wear like maybe 2 different ties. They're always knotted. I kind of alternate whenever I remember to, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Your tie's usually undone a little bit too, right? Like it's not.
Yeah. My clothes are clean, but they're not like, there's no ironing or anything like that.
Yeah.
The only way he like gets the wrinkles out of his clothes is he hangs them up while he takes a shower.
Okay.
Kind of a deal.
2 questions for you. First question: do you tidy up? Do you straighten your tie before you walk in, or are you just what you see is what you get when you walk in?
I'm not gonna try and like put on airs,
Okay.
I mean, I've been around a while. He knows who I am. So like, if I try and put my tie up, he's gonna probably make a
He's
dumb
gonna think
comment
you're
about
an ass.
it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Second question is, do you think, and this is me asking you, Skiff, what you think? Do you think he respects you?
I think he has to, just by way of what I've done, like for the LAPD and stuff. He doesn't respect me. He respects the job.
I see, and the work that you have done. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you two walk in. Gaff is leaning up against, he's leaning back in his chair. It's almost as if he was expecting you to come in. He's not looking at anything. He's not reading anything. He's not touching anything. He's literally staring at the door as you walk in. And he's waiting to talk to you two. And he doesn't speak first. But he does do the same thing that he always does, which is he looks the both of you up and down and either looks to the left or to the right to show that he's displeased with how you two have chosen to display and represent LAPD today. But then he waits for you to speak.
LT, I got a question.
Yeah?
I understand that this act, the
Replicant Prohibition
Replicant
Act.
Act, yeah, I understand that we have nothing that we can do about that, but we can definitely have something that we can do about this partner situation. I'd like to formally request that you pair us with anybody else, including the trash cans out back.
Anybody else on the force, Lieutenant? Anybody else? These two are clowns. They don't know what they're doing.
And he is just waiting and watching the two of you and then he will slowly lean forward, put his elbows on his desk, and say, to make a formal complaint or a formal request of transfer, you're going to need to fill out Form A9. But until that comes through or is denied or approved, you will need to work with your team.
Sir. And she kind of holds back a little bit because she's aware that he is not backing down from this, and there is no possible thing that she could say. So she just kind of says, "Sir." And then just kind of has nothing else.
Sir, is there nothing you can do just personally? You know, if we put in that request, if it's a written request, everybody's going to find out about it. They're going to think that we don't want to work with anybody.
But
we're
you
going to get a
don't want
rep.
to work with them.
I don't want to work with them. I think that's understandable.
Is it? Come in. Edwards.
Good evening, Lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
I was just talking with your new teammates here.
Apologies for the interruption.
It's all right.
Man, you did it before I could spell. I was gonna go. But you beat me to it. Good job. Good job.
Bob's eyes are like, when he said team, he goes, but he doesn't say anything. He just listens.
Sir, if I may, what prompted this decision?
Well, that would be the all points bulletin that I hope you all read. That would be the Prohibition Act. It was not my decision. You now report
Understood.
directly to Holden.
Understood.
He's in charge of the new BDU units.
Apologies, sir. We had a bit of a situation tonight.
So I've heard. What happened?
Well, when we went to determine if the replicant was at home, I and my partner, Wyndham, went on the scene. We let backup know that we were about to go in and to look out for anything
I'm going to stop
that
you
might
there.
be out of the ordinary.
I'm going to stop you there. You now report, and all replicant information goes directly to Holden. He's in charge of the new BDU units. Now you are all fine officers and all exceptional Blade Runners, and his eyes linger for a moment on Selma. And I'm confident that you will be able to work together to help solve this crisis we see ourselves facing today.
Whatever you need, sir.
I look forward to reading your report.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So do I have that correct that you're no longer our superior officer on this now?
Still your
that
superior
right?
officer, but you're not reporting directly to me. You're reporting to Holden now.
Are we ready for what's coming though, T?
Absolutely not.
Thanks for being square.
Let's roll observation. Now, you
Okay.
can all roll just one. Sorry, you can choose one person to roll, and then the whole group benefits from this roll.
I have an A in observation. Is that good?
That's
Is that
exceptional.
That is the best that you
And
can
I
get.
think that we
Excellent.
should all let
Yeah.
you roll observation.
Oh, God.
Was that a humble brag, dude? Were you just like, is that good?
I have an A in
Man, I'm for real.
observation.
I don't
know. Is that good?
I got a gold medal at the Olympics. Is that good?
Yeah. You probably see like the jelly from the jelly donut that the LT ate, and you like that was like 3 hours ago. He should, you can see it crusted. You are tuned in.
Do they have A pluses?
Can they give me pluses here?
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right.
Is this like
all
a
right.
Japanese game where they give out S's?
Oh, goodness.
Okay. Now watch me. I'm gonna fail this. All right. Observation. Just once, right? Okay. Ooh.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then I think it's pretty clear. I think you've never really seen any emotion on Gaff before. I think it's safe to say he's pretty controlled. He walks slowly. He speaks with intention. And he's always, when he's looking or observing you, you know that he intends for you to notice what he's looking at. So he doesn't let his eyes dart around. He doesn't get distracted easily. He's a very intentional person. But I think for the first time, you do see a little bit of unease in his face, and it's just a little bit. It's not that he looks terrified or scared, but it's just uneasy. But that is enough to probably affect all of you in whatever way that might affect you. And he says, I had never seen an 8 before today.
Where did you see the 8?
In the morgue. You're welcome to go down and take a look if you like.
What are we up against?
And he probably reaches down and pushes the stack of papers that were on his desk that he hasn't looked at since you entered. And there are a couple of different file numbers on there that you recognize them as vid files that you can put in your Esper device, which will basically show security cam footage, maybe.
Can Selma immediately show
Absolutely.
interest in these papers?
Yeah,
and be like,
absolutely.
Can she look at them?
Yeah, you can take them. I mean, he slid them over to you, so you can either take them or you can start punching the numbers, the case numbers or the reference numbers into your KIA.
Yeah, I'm walking up with my KIA and I'm looking at them as she's holding them and doing the same thing.
Okay, so just so that I can visualize this juicy tension scene, you're not looking at her KIA as she's punching in the numbers. You're just punching in the numbers on your own KIA. So there's absolutely no teamwork happening here. You guys are individually looking this up.
Yeah,
I love it.
I am putting in the information. If she's if it's updating fast enough where she's putting stuff in, that I'm skipping down on the thing
on the next
and
one
filling
so that
stuff
you
into-
are
yeah.
loading up. Okay, so that is
Yeah.
kind of teamwork. So you are looking at what she's putting in and you're putting in the other ones. Okay.
Yeah.
So you pull up, we're still going based on her other observation skills. So you guys are pulling up a bunch of different files on security cam footage, and it is showing the Tyson. And it's showing his movements. There is security cam footage of him leaping from one building to the other. And then you're also going to see footage from maybe a couple weeks back where he, got physical with someone and was able to put them down in, I don't know, under a second. It's phenomenal how fast they move. Now, I know all of you have experience with replicants previously, but you all have only ever had experience with N6s. For those of you who have watched the film, Roy Batty and the replicants featured in that first movie are N6s, okay? N8s are essentially updated versions of N7s, which are Rachel from the film. But what happened was when Eldon Tyrell died, they rushed the next model out to market in under a year, and they just called it the N8s because they wanted the public to think there was a difference, you know, a wide gap between the N6 and the N8, because then they'd be more likely to buy the model, right? So that's what we're looking at. They are faster, they are stronger, they are intelligent, they have memories baked in, and those memories help them serve their function. However, that means that it is incredibly difficult for you to figure out if they're a replicant or not, because they have memories like a human. That's the first time you will ever have dealt with anything like this, a replicant having memory. So,
do they still have a lifespan?
They have
limit?
no, it's been removed. So they have a human lifespan. So a normal human lifespan, which is terrifying.
And they don't age? Or do they?
I actually don't know. I don't know. And I'm going to leave it at that. I don't think you know either right now, because they've only been out for a year, right?
Yeah.
I'll have to dig and look up for that later. So they've only been out for a year, so I don't think we know. I don't think so, but also that would, I feel like, give it away right away for them. So I don't know.
A little controversy for the chat.
Yeah.
Deckard ages.
Yep. Well, but that's the whole thing of, is Deckard a replicant or not?
There you
go. But also, what I will say too, before I forget, what were we just saying about that? Do they age? They've only been out for a year. What else did you, it's really important. I have to tell you guys this. Shit. I don't know. Keep talking.
That we've only seen N6s up to this point?
You've only seen N6s up to this point. Oh yeah, N8s, thank you. Are supposedly, according to Tyrell Corporation, the main distributor and creator and manufacturer of replicants, the only one actually at this time, they're supposed to be compliant, meaning they are not going to disobey your order of a human if you were to say slow down or stop walking, which I think in this moment you can factor that into Tyson Renzo, because we don't know if he is a replicant or not, but he did absolutely disobey your direct order. So take that knowledge with what you will, but supposedly the company did say that they are. Yep.
I think that while I have my KIA out and I'm going through everything, and I am taking the papers, looking at things. I'm looking at what Selma's looking at. I might be either taking or handing papers to her. I'm not really saying very much. I'm just trying to go through this stuff as much as possible. I might hold something up over to Galen every now and then. It depends on how long we're here, but I'm pretty focused into the information right now.
Yeah.
Just trying to get as much of it as I can. Are there images of the body here? Like, am I finding images of the body? Have they been uploaded? Or do I have to specifically go down there to look at the body in the morgue?
That is a very good question. I think that because this is an N8, I think you have to go down and look at it. And there is a reason for that. And I think it's just that they're trying to keep the information close to the chest. But you guys will have access because you're the official Blade Runner unit.
Right. So I'm as soon as I don't see it in anything, I'm just going to look at the lieutenant and say, Lieutenant, permission to be dismissed.
You're dismissed.
Without a word, I turn and I am heading to the elevator to go to the
morgue. So this is something I don't really do very often, Bob. But I'll actually say to Lieutenant Gaff, Lieutenant, should we report directly to Holden?
Yeah.
Immediately?
Yes. Not immediately,
sir.
No. As far as I know, I have to think about this for a second because I feel like he would have the answer and he would give it to you directly. I think he smirks a little bit and says, if you can find him.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Well, I probably would have heard him saying it right as I was leaving.
Is there any origami on Lieutenant Gaff's desk?
Yes. Roll me a 1d8. It's a fish.
3. You're getting better, sir.
You don't see this, but the audience and I see this, that there is a slight smile on his face.
And then I'll walk out.
One last thing, LT. In our little 4-person squad here, is there a, I don't know, team leader? Someone that has the final say in our decisions?
Not that I'm aware.
All right.
Good luck. He doesn't
Thanks.
usually say good luck to you, I think. So I think that that's probably his way of saying, I hear your frustration, but there's nothing I can do about it, in Gaff's way of doing that, which is probably a pretty big deal for him to even say that.
I turn to walk out unless my partner is staying.
No, I'm ready. Thank you, Lieutenant.
You want to go look at that skin job they got down below, or no?
Yeah, I think that's probably for the best.
All right.
All right. I guess you know where we are, Lieutenant. But you should try the coffee that Sam brought in. It's pretty good.
He nods. Hey, now you guys are heading down to look at this body, right?
Yeah. I think I probably would have started walking, assuming that Galen would have been behind me eventually, if that was his prerogative. And after he said that, if he follows me, I'm heading right to the elevator.
I think we're all heading to the elevator.
Yeah, I think you're all.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Oh
Are you going to ride the same elevator together, or are you going to make a point to be like, one calls the one elevator and you guys call the other elevator? Just
I
so
was
know.
actually, honestly, I was as soon as we got to the LT's office, I was gonna actually, pull. God damn it! I want to keep calling you Eleanor for some reason. Selma.
Mm-hmm.
God damn! I don't know why. Anyways, I pull Selma aside, and just have a little, minor little combo.
Minor little aside. Let's go.
Yep. So I just pull her aside and I say, it looks like we don't have a choice. So, how do you want to play this?
Nice and easy, I guess. If we have to work together,
So let's
we're
play
gonna have to
nice
find
time.
some positives out real quick. Yep.
It's gonna hurt when I get home. I'll tell you that. All right, let's go check out the stiff.
Okay.
I'm holding the elevator for you.
Sorry.
Selma walks in through the elevator. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I look up at him as I walk through as well. Thanks,
I don't pay any attention to them, and I'm still looking at the KIA. I might be mumbling a little to myself, but that's about it.
Bob, you doing all right over there?
Yeah, I'm fine. Did you see? And then I walk over in this elevator. I move over, and I have my KIA up, and I'm like, do you see this?
She leans in.
I mean, these human parameters. I mean, well, outside of human parameters, and I'm pointing at numbers, and just random bits of information. I'm not really asking any questions. I'm just talking about it out loud. It's like, I mean, this is in line with what we would know. It's kind of surprising to see that this is out there, and I'm just sort of babbling along. I don't know if I don't even know if I'm being coherent necessarily in this moment. I don't know how much you're picking up, so that's really up to you.
Can I roll observation on Bob's mood? Or
I
is
will
there
absolutely
any way I can...
allow you to do that.
Okay.
There are
mood is insight, by the way.
Yeah, mood is
okay.
insight, but
All right, cool.
what It's really difficult to succeed at rolls in this game. I'll happily let you roll, but what I would love to do when it's PvP is allow Bob to answer a little bit what you might glean, because, you know, we're trusting the whole table. But if you want more than that, then we roll. But I would like to let him give you a little bit of insight that would obviously be able to pick up by just looking at him.
Right. Okay. All right. You know what? Then I feel like that doesn't necessarily need a roll if he's kind of going off in a maybe non-cohesive kind of manner. I think
I can tell you. I mean, I think you'd pick this up as
so Selma would get
observant.
it. She would understand. Okay.
Right. Yeah. He is very focused on the job right now. That is his one thing. It doesn't mean he's not really aware of his surroundings, but he is selectively allowing information in. So he probably assumes Galen's next to him, right? Like, because he was holding the thing, so he's like, well, he's still there. I don't think he left. Skiff probably didn't even recognize unless he turns to look. You were the first person he saw. If it had been Galen, it would have been Galen. At this moment, he is just trying to put as much of these little bits of information together because he's trying to look down the line at this job. He's like, you can tell that this is the only thing that really matters to him right now. And the information that you're getting, it is sometimes, you know, very easily connected information that you can clearly see. Sometimes it's bits of things where it seems like maybe he's going out on a limb and he is just like following a zigzag pattern of points before he goes back and goes, no. And then he'd keep going.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think about, and then she points at like, you know, a set of numbers. What about this? I mean, I think that could actually be, maybe that could be a possible connection. I'm not sure. She's spitballing with you.
He stops. Maybe. And I think he uses the KIA and highlights it. And, you know, like, yeah, okay, all right, I want to come back to that. And then he keeps going while the elevator's going down.
The elevator ride is a little long, obviously, because the morgue is actually in the middle. So I think traditionally, you know, we would assume that the morgue would be in the basement or whatever. But here in 2023, it's in the middle because it's easier to keep it cool, or it's, you know, closer to the top than it would normally be. And also, you never know who can, you know, gain access. It's just easier for them to protect it and keep it cool if it's somewhere in the middle of the building. So you guys go down. The elevator ride is fairly short, all things considered. However, I think I don't know who would have thought this, maybe, or if anybody would have thought this, but I think somebody at some point might have considered or said at one point that the elevator's purposely slow so that you suffer the advertising that's going on constantly. Like, oh, they could make the elevator faster, but they don't because they want us to get through the ad reel. There are ads playing all the time for you, and I think you guys have all become very good at, you know, just ignoring it or droning it out, but it is pervasive. So you get there. The door opens, you step out, the advertising fades away, and you are now in the morgue. And I don't know how you feel about this, but there are two bodies on slabs, and they both look exactly like Tyson Renzo.
Are there any other bodies in the room?
No.
Like any other? It's just those two?
Just those two.
Okay.
And they are out.
All right.
Like on the slab out, and they're not put away or anything.
All right. I would...
Same haircut, same everything?
Same haircut, same everything.
Okay.
I know I'd make a beeline to the corpses, especially seeing that they looked identical and that they looked like Renzo. I would immediately go to it with no hesitation. And I'm standing there, I think, just wait, or walking with everybody, I imagine, but yeah, no hesitation.
Same here on Selma. I think she would immediately want to identify, you know, any discrepancies, any sort of like, okay, this is what connects this to this. This body looks like it's been through something. This body maybe hasn't been through something, but she would also like...
I'm looking for the medical examiner. Sorry.
That's okay.
You don't see anybody here. It does look, though, like it's unusual for them to, you know, like not be present if the slabs are open. More so like not immediately, oh, this is weird, someone's in danger, but more like, oh, this person is so busy that they just ran real quick to go get something and then came back and they're clearly overwhelmed. So they might be back any second.
Judging by how much time has passed since the explosion, is there any possible way that this could have been one of our guys or the guy that we had at the building?
Is there a wound?
That is the question. Okay, I was going to say, because it is possible, I would assume, but it's very unlikely, I think, with what you know.
Okay, well, because that was my next step. Like, if it's at all possible, I would examine the hands for like brick dust or whatever he used to like jump from one building to the next.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Someone would want to do a fingernail check, just to see what's under there.
Yep. So
maybe even look at like the mouth and
yeah,
sort of just get all up in there.
Now I'm assuming you all, you know, do follow procedure. You put the gloves on that are there for you when you go in and start looking at this body, but. It becomes very clear that this is not Tyson Renzo. Neither of these bodies have any marks on them that would imply they were in a fight. There's no soot, there's no dust, nothing. And in fact, these aren't, I'm assuming now, because I've already said it. So you guys open the eyes. You open the eyelids of these bodies, and they're not even the same color eyes.
You beat me to it. I was going to ask if we know about the things, or they're starting to do that yet.
So what they have said is that there is a serial number on the back of the retina. So in the second film, they've moved it to the bottom, where if you look up into a certain left, you can see it. But right now, you can't. It's on the back. So that's not till the later models. So right now, you'd have to pry the eyeball out and check the back to see if there's a serial number on it. But both eyes are in at the moment.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to casually look for any notes or anything that might have been left by the medical examiner.
There's nothing here. But I think that's probably because your medical examiner has a KIA like you guys do, and you never leave it sitting anywhere. You take it with you everywhere. It's got all your data on it, and then what will probably happen is the medical examiner will make their report and then upload that report to the mainframe, which you would then have access to. But right now, since they're in the middle of doing it...
Are the bodies completely naked?
Yeah.
No sheet or anything?
There's a sheet probably, but down towards the feet, but not on the feet.
Okay.
So there's like a sheet to do, but they're clearly in the middle of an examination here.
As far as I can see, just naked eye, these bodies are immaculate. There's no gunshot wounds, no piercing, no blood.
That's right.
Looks like... I mean, if I didn't know better, I'd say they were past their expiry date.
That's what I was thinking. I think they expired. But how?
As far as I know, like...
They don't look old. Do they even...
N8s.
They look fine.
They haven't said anything about an expiry date for the N8s at all.
Have they been opened up at all, or is it still just closed?
Just closed.
All right, well, could be poison. It's always a possibility. Don't know what their lot gets up to.
I think we might be missing the... Well, not missing, but not talking about the bigger issue here is... Why do they look exactly the same, and why are there at least 3 of them now? Since this isn't our guy, neither of them are our guy.
I mean, this has to be some new model, right? It has to be some kind of upgrade, and it obviously is applied en masse. So,
quick question: in our experience, are replicants sometimes made exactly the same, like on a thing? They are?
Yep.
Okay.
Sometimes.
So this isn't weird then.
I think. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I want to be very specific because I know that you have limited information, and I want to make sure that what I'm giving you is accurate, but also what your character would sort of understand.
Right.
Yeah, it's normal for them to have the same facial structure. It's not normal for them to always have the same hair or, usually there's some form of variance. It doesn't make sense that they have a different eye color. Like, those things strike you as odd.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I'd assume it's like Barbie dolls. Like, the Barbie dolls come out of the box looking exactly the same, but you give it to a little girl, there's going to be some differences from girl to girl.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking it's cheaper.
I'm thinking it's for subterfuge. So you never
You
know.
mean like white collar? You think this was something?
Which one's doing what?
Oh, I see.
That means there could be a much bigger plot. Is that what you're talking about?
Like a shell game. Like, imagine 10 of these, and one of them has a bomb.
This is obfuscating. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And that video that we just saw, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we're fucked.